Don't listen to this if you're a pussy.
Bretsky!
What?
Get your ass over here!
All rise! It's the VIPod!
Come get it while it's hot. Season 2's just gonna smell like a fried chicken fire log in here. Squirt. Squirt, 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 squirt. You know what our listeners want to hear? What? I don't know either. Where's that cactus? We should just have the cocaine song as our intro.
What the
I'm in the migrant. Did you just try to play footsie with me? You know who I really hate?
Tommy, I am your father.
Oh, so now we're doing movie quotes?
Yep.
Run, Bretsky, run! Are you recording?
Yep.
No, but really. Are you recording? Yeah. I get it. I see what you're doing here.
You may be seated. I am Wayne Bretsky, the greatest one, and I am here alongside Tommy, a.k.a. Tommy No Nuts, a.k.a. Tommy Show 1.0.
I do have nuts. They're just small. They're just really small. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 45. We have a different show today.
Jam-packed, one might say.
We can actually
Cheese whiz and jam-packed.
Fucking yeah. Okay.
Tell me somebody tried that.
I don't know. I really hope we get maybe an email or a voicemail about that, because I tried it last week and it was fucking fantastic. I have not introduced it to my family just because I don't have cheese whiz at home, but I'm on a mission to go buy cheese whiz.
It's an expensive sandwich nowadays too, and cheese whiz being like $8 a jar, right?
No
like
shit.
It's not for poor families like us.
No, but so we had a plan for today, and that plan's still a go, but we have a little cherry on top of our show. We're gonna have a couple guests today in our studio. Well, one is in the studio, one is on Zoom. So we're gonna introduce them in a bit, but fuck, I really wanted to talk about Jackass just real quick.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
We missed it last week. We missed it last week, and it was
totally
like I'm not gonna go into too much details because there's so much to see, and if we talk about it, it's probably gonna ruin the surprise. But
yeah, you don't want to put out any spoilers.
I mean, the fact that Bam wasn't on there, I think everybody knows that.
We all know why.
It kind of sucks, but you know what? The new cast was fucking perfect.
Yeah, the people who were new were all really good. And honestly, like I saw Jackass 3 and this one both in theaters, and I think they might be the two hardest 2 hours of laughing.
Oh god,
like,
I was
I don't know why, but when you see it on the big screen and like never before seen, you just
weight.
belly laughed the
laughing.
whole fucking show, and it was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'd honestly go watch it again.
Yeah, actually, my neighbor was like, my wife doesn't want to see it, and his son, he's got autism, so he can't really watch people getting hurt.
Yeah,
like, I'll go with you. Oh yeah, let me know when I'll go.
Tell me, I'll come too.
Absolutely.
I'll go again.
But loads, everybody. I can drink today because I'm not going to work.
We didn't say that. And to the people who are new listeners, loads is the way we say cheers. So grab yourself a drink and come join the ride. Loads. So on today's episode, we have two guests.
We have a zoomed in gentleman from all the way from BC, Mr. Details. He's a BC rapper. He's an entrepreneur.
He has to just introduce him as Details, not Mr. Details.
I'll call it. It's a sign of respect.
People might get confused, like Mr. Clean kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. He always wears a hat, so I haven't seen what he has underneath that hat. And also we have in studio the Sad Jaguar, one of the owners of Natural Earthcraft Cannabis. Gentlemen, welcome in. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic, man. Thanks for having me.
Jags?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Go fuck yourself.
Nobody
Who
gives
said
a
you
shit.
could come?
Nobody gives a fucking shit anyways.
Yeah, you were supposed
You missed
to.
your fucking show, man.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing here?
What do you mean I missed my show?
You were supposed to be on 2
No,
weeks ago.
you know what show I'm supposed to be on? The one I fucking show up for. That's
Well,
the one I'm supposed to be on.
Yeah, but we were forced to get Bretsky's sister on here and shit talk Bretsky.
I don't know what
it
what
was
she's
fun.
like, but Bretsky
I'm
sucks.
not
So
getting much in the ear hole for the record from Sad Jaguar.
Sad Jaguar. Okay, we'll adjust
We can
that.
fix that.
But for the record, the Mr. Clean comment, I'm out here farming
there we
hair
go.
on the West Coast. So
Oh,
I'm,
shit.
I'm definitely, I'm not quite there yet. But the Mr., I'm not mad at it. Details is cool, but I'm not mad at the Mr.
So details. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So you're a rapper. I met you through Surreal. You were on a couple of his TikTok lives, and you were pretty fucking funny. So I was like, yeah, I gotta have this guy on here. And I think you kind of invited yourself too, but I was on board right off the bat. Yeah.
I heard you do the podcast. I said, well, shit, forget about Surreal. Let's just chop it up one-on-one.
That's
One on
right.
three, apparently. I didn't know it was going to be a handicap match here today.
no, it's an orgy. It's an orgy.
Giant versus three average, three of the other wrestlers there they put in it. So let's start from the beginning, man. So I used to make music back in the day. And yes, Surreal is a friend of mine. I go back with him maybe like 25 years realistically. Like
Right
we're
on.
talking grade 9, right? So and I'm a little older cat in the game at 38. The beard makes me look 58, but I don't know, whatever. I don't know. It is what it is. So I was making music, 12, 13 years old, kind of got into it. Hip hop was kind of my love from like 13, 12 years old kind of thing. Maybe even a little younger. Yeah, like probably 10, listening to like Crisscross and Snow and
Nice.
shit.
Fuck yeah.
Old school, right? Where my 80s baby's at. And then it just kind of turned into, I always enjoyed the English language, linguistics, writing, handwriting. I would do like graffiti and lettering, and the verbal and, audible sound of rhyming words always caught my attention. I used to explore with psilocybin a little bit at a younger age. And for whatever reason, that like tuned me into watching words rhyme instead of just hearing them. I don't know how to really describe that. And, trips aren't for everybody. But it did something where it unlocked. I liken it to Minesweeper, that old game from
Yeah.
You'd press something and it opens a little bit more up suddenly. And I felt like if I used it correctly at that point in my life or whatever, that I was able to really construct intricate lines and writing, and it would either make me laugh or I would sit and go like, oh shit, that's really dope. So I thought, okay, well, why not take a run at being a musician? But also you got to remember that 25 years ago, there was none of this shit going on. There was no Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So you're literally trying to get played on the radio. And in an IMO-BC, it's not easy to go get played on the radio somewhere that counts. So at about 25, I just pulled the chute on it after releasing a couple albums and doing like some small shows and shit, right? But nothing major. I actually went to broadcast journalism school in Vancouver, and off the back of that, hosted radio on Team 1040 for a handful of years and Team 1410. And I don't know, it just wasn't for me, really, to be honest. The journalism side of it, like they really have an agenda that they push. Like, it can be evident in other areas of life. But I just learned that media wasn't where I wanted to live on that regimented scale. So we also did a podcast, and I got into calling MMA fights, like basically doing the job that Joe Rogan does, adding color to the broadcast. So like 950 fights later, I think I've unofficially called the most live fights in Canadian history. Mauro Ranallo's called more than me, but a lot of his were from the studio while it was happening in Japan or had already happened.
You should get a podcast on Spotify. I hear they pay good for those guys.
Yeah, well, come on, man. Yeah, so that's the struggle right there. So I looked at it like, okay, am I gonna keep going at this road, or am I gonna get a job? And I went and got a job, and then I thought, you like to cook, let's open a restaurant. I have this habit of thinking about something and then like doing it 100% to the ability that I have to do it, and it's a good thing, but it also catches you some lessons. So owned restaurants, came back around to it, closed the restaurants, got myself healthy. I had been hit by a car in this process in about 2009, and my doctor was like, here, just take these pills after your surgery, you'll be okay.
What was her name?
I wish I knew his name because I'd go ask him for the $1 million that he pretty much costed me, becoming dependent on shit for a bunch of years. But and then found my way back into music 3 years ago. And what I found was all those experiences I just told you about made me fucking way better at everything to do with music, the business side of it, the management side, the writing side, the confidence, delivery. I'm healthier than I ever been. And so now it's like getting a second chance at a game that you kind of lost early on, but watched someone else, do really well while you stood there for your next chance. So now we're in a position where the HOODSTOCK Entertainment name has stepped in, created that. That's my entertainment company. We do live shows, we do artist management, and through HOODSTOCK is Island Royalty Apparel, which is the clothing line. Yeah. And that's where we're at. Like you said, serial entrepreneur, man.
Nice, man. Yeah, like I've seen the Island Royalty and the HOODSTOCK, especially the HOODSTOCK. I've seen it on more of Serial's followers. Like I know Jess was one of them. She always rocks it. So I assume you guys all know each other and support each other, which is super awesome. And and I mean, feel free to send some to Winnipeg because we'll rock the shit out of it here too.
Beautiful. We'll get some sizes figured out for real though. I'm looking at. I got this computer on 2 totes right now, and I got about 18 more totes that's jam packed with tagged and bagged clothing and apparel. So
awesome.
Definitely, I got something I'll get sent out for the team. And I didn't understand how nobody ever took the name Woodstock and flipped it with the HOODSTOCK because I own the name legally. It's all right side of the law in terms of owning business and copyrights and stuff. And I just think I might have fucking saw what was sitting right out in the open, but no one else saw it because the name seems to be a really good draw.
It is a really beautiful brand. And I always throw this plug out too, like anytime we have a hip hop artist on the show. But in Manitoba here, we have a music festival called Northern Touch Music Festival, and it was founded by a really good buddy of mine. But it's a show that's trying to a festival that's trying to give a platform to underserved genres like urban hip hop and stuff like that, and it's also a conference that goes on during the same time. Okay. So they bring in delegates and do a whole bunch of panels. So if you want to learn how to run a show, or if you want to learn how to build a label or build a brand or anything like that, they bring in experts and they run all these panels at the same time. And it's a really, really great festival. And they even will help out artists in getting grants to get themselves here. So that, the cost isn't on you to come down and do all of this. They'll help you get funded to come down here, do a show, spread your
seed
brand seed, spread your seed all over the crowd.
This fucking guy says legs or seed. I don't know if we're continuing.
Put some loads out there. That's right. I just said loads.
Okay. It's like
that's bullshit. Yeah. Hey. That sounds like exactly the kind of thing that I need to be attending more of because I like to see how other people play the game.
Yeah, and it's really great. So stay tuned with us. I'm actually hoping to have some people from that festival on the show in the near future, and we'd be more than happy to get you hooked up with them and get you down here in the future. So that
we're looking to do a countrywide thing here as soon as now possible with today's news that I can pack the club on March 12th to capacity.
That's super exciting, man.
Oh
yeah.
I'm so pumped.
It's about time for you.
It makes a big change, and immediately now I can look to go to other cities because I know for the first 3 months a lot of places are going to be busy just based on the fact it's the first 3 months of being back to full capacity. Yeah. So and truthfully, with the quality of clothing that we run and stuff, as long as I can set up merchandise tables and get a bare minimum of a guarantee to start off this year, you're going to gain so many new fans in every club because it's going to be packed. You got to look at that as part of your payment right now. And, a lot of artists won't look at it that way because they think I can get back on the road and start paying my rent off music again. Well, maybe, but only if you have enough ulterior ways of having income from music rather than just hoping that the club owner is going to pay you to come in. Yeah. Because that fucking club owner has been struggling for 2 years to keep the doors open or maybe even having them closed. And they know they're going to be pretty busy regardless. So it's going to take some business savvy, and I'm not going to give away all my secrets here for all the other artists watching, but it's going to take savvy to
do you think that that's going to have an effect on venue costs and profit shares and stuff involved with venues and playing certain venues and booking them? Are those guys going to be trying? Obviously, everybody's trying to recoup what they've lost or not. I wouldn't say lost, but what they haven't gotten in the last couple of years. Do you think that? I mean, obviously, we all have venues in our cities that like we know the owners and we're like, oh, this dude's in it because he loves music and wants to be a part of it. And then you've got other venues that like have become really successful because they have money and they draw people in, and those are the expensive venues to play and they're hard. How do you feel about that in your sort of local community there?
I think what we're going to see a bunch of is, I don't necessarily think we're going to see pay to play. At least I hope we don't see pay to play.
I sure hope not.
Absolutely not.
But because you know what, I'll be honest with you, like as an artist, there are places for that. Like look at how The Weeknd last year on the Super Bowl party, he put up $6 million of his own money to do that show, but he recouped 40 million in streams alone in the following 6 months. So you pay to play at the right opportunity. Am I going to pay to play at Cousin Fucker's Pub in wherever BC small town?
And could you imagine if he'd have put on a good halftime show?
hey, come on.
Hey man, at the end of the day, he took his 6 mil and turned it into 40.
No, I'm not saying it was
That's a win.
It was a good business move. 100%.
For the business investment. So I'm not going to go play at some show where, you know, you might get 100 people there, but I got to take the tickets off the person's hands and pay it out of my pocket, regardless if I sell them or not, because that person's not doing their due diligence as a promoter. Right. Yep. So I have a remix I did of a 10 Crack Commandments by Notorious B.I.G. I did the 10 Rap Commandments, and the ones promoter street credit, forget it, got opening acts paying to rap shit for, got promoter street credit, dead it, got opening acts paying to rap shit, forget it. And it's like, no, I won't do that to guys on my show. I'll either say I can't pay you anything because this is an opportunity for you and you're the first time you've ever been on stage, or I say I guarantee you a minimal payment, and then if you sell tickets, you'll get a piece of those tickets too. Yeah. Or if you're an artist like Surreal, Switch, some of the more prominent artists, I guarantee you a certain amount that we agree on, and then you sell tickets for the show up to and including a certain number, and then when we hit that certain number, then after that you'll get a percentage too, because if I'm breaking you off a guarantee, you're not going to take ticket money on top of the guarantee, because most people don't get fuck all. You know what I mean? So it's all how you structure it, man. It's a reward system and it's also a demand system, right? And supply and command, as Ricky from Trailer Park says.
Well, and with like
rocket appliances, boys. So with it's about being creative with it, man, so that you can get in and either make money or offer somebody something that's fair. And with this reopening, it's going to be lots of, hey man, you can get the stage time, set up your merch. And, you know, if we hit 100 people, you can have $5 at the door on everybody. There's going to be a lot of creative deal being made, is what I think I'm trying to get at.
Well, and I think we're in a time now which is different from, like, I toured in bands in the, mid to late 2000s, and even then it was different. And, like, we're in a time now where, like, there's so much capability of self-promotion through grinding and through, like, people doing that. It's like, you got to create your own value. And you always did, but it was harder. And so, like, my value as a band back in 10, 15 years ago was like, how good was our last set, how much did we interact with the fans, how much merch did we sell, how good was our merch. Now it's like, what's your social like?
Do you have a good social media manager?
What's your impact on people when you're not performing, like all that stuff. And so I think the bar has moved, and like there's a lot more responsibility on the artist, as there always is more and more becoming, to take that on themselves and like grind that out, and just like, no, you need to create your own. It's not a label or a booking agent or a manager that's going to create this for you anymore. You create it, and those people now work for you, instead of the way it used to be 10, 15 years ago, where like really if you got a label and a booking agent and a manager, you were working for them. Yeah. Does that make sense to you? Does that, like, I don't know what your path has been.
You're right on the money, man. And with nowadays, like, if I'm being honest, it would take a pretty fucking big upfront pile of non-recoupable money for me to sign a label deal. I have no reason to do that. Now, what I would do is sign with them as a distributor, which means that it's on them to hustle that ass and sell my albums and make their percentage. because they would sign that deal based on my buzz in the street. So you're exactly right. You've become, you know, maybe not necessarily your own manager, but it's become a lot more commonplace to have somebody like me who is an artist, but also has, you know, a fairly good handle on, you know, restaurant ownership shit I was talking about. I can kind of run a team. I'm comfortable with that area. So we have, you know, Surreal is my teammate. He's right next to me with what we're doing. And we've each got an artist that we have in artist development phases. And then we've got 4 other artists that are signed to HOODSTOCK in just a performance artist, and I'm their booking agent type capacity. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome.
So what I would look for is I would want to do a label deal for HOODSTOCK. If somebody like Atlantic Records or Sony stepped to me and was like, yo, D, here's what we want to offer you, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. But what I want is a non-recoupable. And by non-recoupable, I mean, it's not something I owe them back, right? It's like a signing bonus, right? Because everything is recoupable. A lot of artists don't understand that you could score this deal and they're like, yo, here's 200,000, here you go. And you go fuck off and buy yourself a Rollie and you buy yourself a Cadillac and you fucking give your mama 25,000, which you should do.
And you're done.
And you don't pay your taxes. And then the album comes out and flops and you make 40 grand off of it. And then you owe the taxes on 200 and you owe the difference from 40 to 200 to the label. So like, this is how guys end up broke in 2 years because the album fucking flops.
Well,
right?
and never mind like the producer bill that the label paid for that probably cost an exorbitant amount because it's the
all
like,
your recording and building costs get thrown on there.
Back then it was the label that brought you the producers, and then like you may have had a say in it, but really in the end you didn't. And
they
never
took
mind
care of
like
everything.
production and then studio time and all this shit, and like they weren't telling people to be careful with that. They were just letting them free reign it, and if the right producer made the right album for them and bullied his way in there, it might make some money. But if it didn't, it's like, well, you can either be a band or an artist or whatever, and like try and grind this out. You have a 5-record deal or 4-record deal or whatever it is, or you can't perform anymore. And so it was like it really came down to that. And like I have friends that have been in bands that like got locked into record deals that fucked them.
Oh,
and it was like it wasn't even there. They were still making great music. It was if you're not a priority to your label, if you're not a priority to that like to the people in charge of you, you're fucked.
That happened to
They'll just bury you.
That happened to one of my favorite bands in Winnipeg back in the 2000s. That's when I moved here in 2004. And you guys probably heard of the band Port Immoral.
Yeah, of course. I know those guys.
Yeah. And so they got signed by Roadrunner Records. It was big news in Winnipeg. Next thing you know, Port Immoral's breaking up and done. And nobody talked about like why what happened, but clearly
they can't talk about it. They got non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah, and they got, but clearly everybody knows they got fucked. Yeah, hard. So but it sucks.
But it's that whole thing with like artists that don't get self-informed. And so like I always, when I was touring, when I was signing deals with anybody, when I was doing anything, like that was on me. That's my business.
Yes,
and if I'm out of touch with my business and making bad decisions, like in the end, I'm sorry, but that's on you. As like you're a business person, you're an artist one, but you're a business person too. And like if you can't do too well, you're fucked. You'll get, especially if you're really good, you'll get eaten alive.
Yeah. Man, I know people who've had master's business degrees and the music industry will still
but those just make you bad business people. An MBA makes you a shit business person. But unless you want to be a banker or an investment.
What I want to ask though is, what's the scene like out on the West Coast? Like, do you guys is it a very united scene, or is there like the turf war kind of thing? Like, are there the groups? The sects of, because I know with hip hop it happens too. Like you have the like there's the different genres of hip hop. Like there's the everything from the nerdcore to the hardcore to the trap to the like there's different areas of the genre.
Yeah, I think that out here you see mostly cohesion to a point. I'm gonna say like. How do I put it? There's a lot of artists out here who have each other's back wholly and fully. And I know that because of the projects we've done together, like the Island Royalty album and different stuff that we've done together. And we push each other pretty heavily out here. I mean, everybody in the HOODSTOCK, inside the HOODSTOCK rotation, Valence, myself, Surreal, Ron as well, Rev Ron as well, and he works with us a lot. He's signed to another record label for his, but he works with us so much. And then some of the other dudes in Vic, like, you know, King Benz is a guy who's doing amazing work with his art down there. And while we don't roll in the same circles, like, I quietly admire and not so quietly support him. You know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on out here. But for the last 2 years, like most places, been dead stop, right? And there's been the odd show. I mean, last summer I did a thing called Backyard Boogie. Actually, I just happen to have a poster right here because I got to give it to one of the artists. But this show went down on my property next door, and we put 300 people on there, I guess, on August 14th last year, and had comedians, rockers, hip hoppers, you know, some dancers, all kinds of different shit going on, food trucks, merchandise tables, the whole nine yards. So it's like the scene out here used to be really thick. There was a lot going on, but if you're not on the mainland, if you're on the island, you're literally stuck on an island. One of the biggest guys doing it out here, DJ Stallion, much respect to my homie Marshall, DJ Stallion, he decided to step out of the game. He's got a family and shit. He's been doing it for literally 20 years. He was like, I'm good, I'm going to step out. So we lost a big pillar in terms of putting on, you know, the TIs or the Nellies or whoever's that were coming up here. That was always him plugging that show in Victoria, right? So now I feel like it's kind of on me to maybe step into that lane. HOODSTOCK is starting to take off in a way that I figured and hoped it would, but I didn't know that it would. And for the fact that this show on March 12th coming up comes pretty much as the first scheduled show out of the shoot, I know that everybody in town's going to be going, yo, it's wide open. Let's book a guy tomorrow, the next day. And that's fine. They can do their shows leading up. But we got one we've been promoting for a month already, right? So I had already sold out the first set of tickets. When we do a show, typically we'll sell out with guys like Matt with Surreal, myself, Mr. ESQ from Victoria again, and some of the bigger names. But what's dope is, and I've seen it firsthand, especially at Boogie, was that there's not some turf war going on. Of course, there's some dudes that are going to be in their own feelings, and that happens, I think, wherever you go, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Maybe because there's a lot of chronic smoke in the air out here. I don't know. Hopefully
there is here too.
But
we know nothing about that. What?
I think we all see that on an island, we're more powerful as in some level of conglomerate group than we are as a bunch of fucking solo artists trying to get 80 different people to my show then came to your show. What if we just get 150 and we get both?
That was one thing I always found with hip hop. Like I said, I had friends who did a lot of the organizing and stuff around Winnipeg here, and one thing I always found was that the crowd that you found at those shows was not what the stereotype was. It was the most friendly, easygoing crowd. Like, they just wanted to be there to be at a show and enjoy the fucking music. They were just happy they were getting a hip hop show somewhere. And
you could do any genre of show in the wrong neighborhood and have it get fucked up.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
well, we got a small.
I've been going to rap concerts a long time. Have I seen someone get thrown through a fucking fish tank at a rap show before? Yes, I have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I would say not exclusive.
But I also went to like many incident-free shows, including the one last year with damn near 300 people outside getting drunk for 8 hours. Yeah, I have.
Well, and I would say that's not exclusive to rap shows. That's just like when you get a bunch of people together and there's booze 100%. Involved and there's music that people love. Like,
and it takes
that
one
energy.
idiot.
That energy can shift pretty quick because like it's that whole mob mentality where it's like there's fucking hundreds of people here and I love this and that
That's right.
I love this what 20 drinks in can turn into like I should fuck shit up. Like that doesn't take long for like one or two people who are fucking stable. No matter it could be a country music in fact country it probably happens more.
Oh
but like,
god, it's so bad at country.
Well, and it's also BC. I mean, we've seen what happened in the playoffs, right? In the Stanley Cup Finals, right?
Really? This is where we're gonna go.
They don't handle upset to it.
Just for the record, I was unaware of that.
Fucking team logo tattooed on my arm. I don't like that shit.
Fuck yeah.
I wanted to bring it up because I saw it on your social media. Most of the time if you're wearing a hockey jersey, it's the Vancouver Canucks. So I just had to give you a little jab there.
So
are you from Quebec City or are you Canadian? The ones in the basement this year, they're fucking terrible. They can't win a hockey game.
Have you heard of Les Jets? Do Winnipeg?
Jets?
Yeah.
We beat Toronto the other night. I was at the game with my buddy.
That's always fun, eh?
Thank you.
Desperately pathetic big Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
And that's the thing. I think Canadian hockey fans can most.
We can all unite over beating Toronto.
We can unite on the one thing that we all hate Toronto.
We hate the Habs and we hate Toronto.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not that we hate the Habs, we just don't like the French. And then we don't like
Toronto. If I'm being honest, I was raised on Habs hockey, 93, watching the World Cup.
It makes sense. It makes sense. No, that's okay.
However, I do dislike French Canadians. I lived in Tofino for a long time, so
that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. Question for you: what's the biggest lesson you've learned through owning restaurants that you took into your music career?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Don't ever open another restaurant.
Guilty. We're broadcasting from an old restaurant right now, just for the record.
That's a really good question, man. If I had to think of one thing that it taught me, you are not capable of doing everything, even if you are able to do everything.
That's a great lesson.
That's fantastic.
That's probably the biggest lesson I learned. You know, just because you can do all facets of the job
doesn't mean you should. Well, and or you're capable of doing all of them at once.
Well, in a kitchen though, it was like I was saying, okay, well, fuck, I can do this later. So, but then doing it later means some nights I'd go to work on a Monday morning at 7 a.m. and I'd go home fucking Tuesday afternoon. Like I'm working 35-hour shifts.
But the thing is that people, yeah, man. The thing is that people don't realize that like owning a restaurant is a labor of love, which is actually super similar to like taking on a music career or an entertainment career. Like it is a labor of love because you put in
or a podcast for that matter.
No, fuck your podcast. I'm trying to have a conversation with someone reasonable here. I think like it's a labor of love, and you put in so fucking much.
Well, he's doing that loads
to get like something out of it. And so
what the difference is for me is I don't have to go fucking line up at the bakery every morning anymore or do a $2,000 food order every 2 days just to have a chance at making money.
Yep.
Now with what I do, I have what I need, so it's up to me to go make the money. Right?
Yeah, that's great, man. That's awesome. Good for you.
And all I just wanted to bring is like in a podcast too, you know, just because I can do everything doesn't mean I should do everything. I'm looking at you, Bretsky.
We really should put a volunteer call out there.
What, interns? You want to abuse the intern privilege?
Want to do our social media? I'll tell you how to do it. I just don't want to.
Come work for me for free. That'll be great. You'll love it. Exactly. And trust me, like I own a weed business. Like, you know how many emails I get every week about people who want to come and like work for free? Like, can I just show up and help? It's like, no, but if you're like good, you can show up and I'll pay you to fucking work.
Yeah. You can't bring pants that have pockets because you already just like lost the trust.
Well, speaking of weed, how's the business doing, Jags?
It's good, man. Yeah, it's been great.
So last time you were here, your product was just about to hit the shelves.
Yeah.
So that was I think that was in October. So let us. I know you can't talk numbers, and we don't give a shit about numbers. Just tell us how's the demand. And
wait. Before that, I have a question because
he just had a question.
Last time you were here, doesn't matter.
Can
you shut the fuck up?
Question.
No.
Go ahead.
I said he doesn't care about hearing about numbers because he can't count anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who gives a shit?
No, all I was gonna say is last time you were here. You had 3 of the 4 releases named, and we set up a contest saying whoever got the good name for the 4th one was going to win a care package. And I had a lot of really good names in there, man.
Hey, whether I've taken your fucking name or not, I've given you plenty of care. So no, let's not ignore that.
I just want the win.
He just wants the title.
No, the weed business has been great. It's you know what, the response from the market has been like overwhelmingly positive. It actually, like, talking about it just floors me. Like the fact there's so many facets to it. Like the fact that like my grower does such an exceptional job, and like I really believe we grow.
Even though he's an idiot.
He's a fucking idiot, but man, that guy.
But he knows.
But that guy knows weed. Like he fucking knows weed. So. We're putting out like a really great product.
Shout out to Dana.
That we're proud of, and it makes it easy to sell. And I'm like the sales marketing portion of the business, and like it's not hard to sell something that everybody enjoys when they try it. it has its challenges for sure. We're the little guy in a giant pool.
Yeah.
And like we're in a giant pool that people have been just throwing money into for years and years and years. And like details, you're going to know this. Like you know the weed business, what it's like in BC and what it's been like for the last 15 years. And like we're such a young business. Like BC's been selling weed at stores for what, 15 years already? In some or 10 years?
Not quite that.
Eight or 9, I think.
8 or 9 for sure. And so like we're only 3 years into this, and so it's a really young business. And like for us, the big advantage is like right now more than ever, like local business is so important. And so Manitoba's like been so supportive of us, and like they're buying shit tons of my weed, and they're getting fucked up and stoned, and they're happy about it. And so like really when it comes down to it for me is like if people are buying my weed and they're getting stoned the way they want to get stoned, I'm happy, they're happy, everybody's happy. But it's great, and we've got like big things coming and expansions and all this other stuff.
Can you talk about that, or it's still?
No, I can talk about anything. I don't give a shit.
Because so you guys purchased a second building, right?
Yeah, so we're a micro cultivator, and like we have one facility right now, and we just bought a second building to open another facility, and like market demand will tell me what to do with my business, and so we're gonna sell as much as we can to Manitoba, and then when I outgrow that, or when the market says you've had enough, then we'll take it to other provinces. And like it's I mean BC, I've been through all kinds of talk and understanding of what it takes to get into BC and Alberta and Saskatchewan, and like really I'm focused on the West. Like I'm not, I don't care if my weed ever makes it to Ontario. It's not important.
Ontario,
well, it's not, it's just not important to me. Like I'm just some fucking guy from Manitoba growing weed. Like I don't give a shit. And so like I think we grow great product, and I love sharing that with people, and really that's what matters. And people seem to like that we share it with them.
And you guys been selling out.
We've been we're selling.
Do you only retail your own product that you cook up, harvest yourself?
So we're retailing 2 of the 3 strains we're growing. We have a commitment to grow for another brand. I don't know if you've heard of Ghost Drops.
I know my boy Organic.
Okay, so
I know who Organic is.
We're growing for Ghost Drops.
Okay.
We're growing one of their strains for them. Ghost Drops is more of a brand, and like has brought all these people from the black market or gray market, whatever the fuck you want to call it, together.
I think that term is racist now. I'm not sure.
I don't know what I can say.
Fuck it, it's good.
You guys will drop this podcast, and the next day there's going to be a podium in front of your house.
Yeah,
I know what you said yesterday.
I guess all those sales I got are done now. But
hey, any publicity is good publicity.
No, not in this day. Not anymore.
For the podcast.
Oh, for your podcast, probably. So we're growing some stuff for Ghost Drops as well. They have one strain called Z Splitter that we're growing for them, and they've got a couple of people around Canada growing it. It's been an honor to work with them. They're like a great business, and we really embrace like they're sort of taking the black market and bringing it to the legal market. I think that there's often a lot of animosity between the black market and the legal market. And I think that we need to bridge those gaps a little bit, because there's some super good genetics, some great skilled people that should have an opportunity to be a part of whatever they choose to be a part of.
Mm-hmm. Well, out here we have that going on. I guess you would say, like, some of my close friends and whatnot aren't. I don't think they were what you would call government cultivators, but they're cooking up a product that is absolute quadruple A beautiful, and a lot of the retailers want to get their hands on it because they know putting that on their shelf at whatever the price is, truthfully, is going to fly off of it. So you have that happening out here where prices fluctuate like crazy too. So you're seeing a really weird market for it, for something that I've kind of had my toe in since long before it was ever a legal recreational item, right? So the sliding scale is kind of wild. That's why I was curious to know if it's something that you guys do completely in-house. We just had Tilray close their doors out here.
Yeah, Tilray, that's a big move. That's a big thing to happen in our industry. Yeah,
man, that's what I'm saying. So it seems like, it's becoming more common for a company, if they're putting their name on the label, that they want to be in control of producing it, because off the bat, like the first little while of grabbing from a dispensary, it was inconsistent, and you would get super dry flower or something that wasn't quite what it should be. And I've seen that change in the last year and a half for sure. Full disclosure, I'm still a supporter of my friendly neighborhood dope men, but
of course.
it's something that you've seen come up. I've had people bring by, PRs and stuff, and the level is getting up there. So it's good to see. Of course, it would take some time and more people that are selling a product that they grow, they understand it. It's like a chef. If you don't know shit about the food you're cooking, you might put a cool plate together, but you can't fucking tell me about it, or you can't really stand behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bringing it from the ground up, literally, you can stand behind your product and know that what you're serving up is quality. So that's cool to hear, man. That's
and for me, like I've got like anyone with any history in the cannabis industry, let's just call it weed. Anyone with history in the weed industry or with weed as something that was part of their lives or is a part of their lives, like knows a black market guy or knows a gray market guy or your dealer from back in the day, and like those guys should be the leaders to drive this industry forward. And like I've got two guys right now that I'm really working hard to bring into my fold that like want to go. They realize sort of the inevitable future of their side of the industry, and like they want to go to the legal market. They want to bring their genetics in. They've bred all these beautiful genetics and all this great stuff, and like I have the opportunity to help them do that, and like that's so exciting for me as well. It's like it's
that's the crossover we need. That's the crossover we need. Really.
We need more of those like gray market, black market guys to like if the legal market's going to become a thing that is the dominant thing. Or the dominant part of that industry, like we need to bring those guys in and let them make money and let them be successful, and teach, and let them be like
and let your clients get the best product possible.
Well,
too,
and that's the other thing, and like
fucking magic in their hands, man.
And so there's tons of like great weed that's grown in BC. Like there's tons. Like I try it, I buy it when it comes into the province. Like I
used to have 5 or 10 pounds of it sitting around here, so that's no argument.
So like it's well, and I grow my own shit at home because the stuff I grow at the farm is too strong. I can't fuck with that. But but like it's great, and it's good to see like there's a community starting, and it's such a young baby of an industry that like I think we'll find a way to make it good. And I think people are very polarized about it, and guys like you who are still buying from like the guy I've been buying from, I trust his product. I know him. He's been supplying me with product that I'm so happy with forever. And like there's a day that guy might go to the legal market, and it's like, you know what? If that's what he chooses, I hope there's an avenue for him to do that.
Well, we have that going on right now. Like, I have two of my buddies where I am their plug for that because I happen to know people that are in that market, and they're like, yo, that's fine if that's the tag and that's what it looks like, and we can make a deal on it. So you are seeing that already. And, some of them have their licenses and whatnot, but they're not in, I don't put them in the same position that I would put somebody who's, putting up a building for that sole purpose. They're backyard basement guys still that have just got, like I say, they got that green thumb, or that's not a thumb. They got that green thumb, and it's just something that you can't turn down when you see it come into your shop.
No, for sure. I totally get that. Like I got plenty of friends that are involved in that, the other side of it, and it's like they're still growing unbelievable stuff. And like really the legal market is on genetic side and like strains, like they're 2 years behind what's actually going on.
Well, and that's the thing, like these guys that really just grow it in their backyard, like they've been doing this for years.
In BC you can actually grow it in your backyard.
Yeah.
In Manitoba you don't really have much of a choice but to grow inside, but
like they have all this knowledge, and it's like, like eventually we can see that the trend is going the way it is, right? It's gonna be just like alcohol, right?
It seems that way.
Well, yeah, and it's a controlled substance now. Like it's when people call it a drug, I try to correct them, because at the end of the day, weed is so much fucking healthier than alcohol is, and alcohol has been legal for fucking years, and so now you bring in these guys that really know their stuff, and I know when you go legal, there's a lot of boundaries you got to go through.
It's insane,
a lot of hoops,
dude.
But at the end of the day, like here you are, you're willing to bring in these guys and actually just, okay, this is what you need to do. This is how you get to this point, and let's get the best weed out there, because at the end of the day, you have so many shady fuckers too that try to grow shit, and who knows what it's laced with. So I'm looking at like my kids. I'd rather have them like, hey, Dad, I'd like to try some weed. Okay, well, I know this guy that sells the weed. Let's go buy the legit stuff, and at least I know that they have like good things.
Well, and
right?
I think for me, it's my responsibility when if those guys want to be a part of the legal industry, it's my responsibility to help them get in. Yeah. That's my job. That, because I'm a legal market guy. And so instead of creating all this fucking animosity, no, let's find a way to work together. And if you want to do this, I'm in, and it's my job to help them get in.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that.
I feel a lot of weight behind that, and a lot of I feel a lot of responsibility for that.
The Pizza Oven is dedicated to the highest quality pie that the whole family can enjoy. With their amazing sauce and the freshest ingredients, the Pizza Oven is here to provide quality and a great tasting pizza to Winnipeg and East St. Paul. They use a delicious blend of mozzarella cheese and make their pizza crust daily, both thick and thin, and their meats are proudly provided by Winnipeg Old Country. They're located at 1215 Henderson Highway, Unit D in Winnipeg. Call them today at 204-949-3000 because everyone's loving the Pizza Oven. And tell them the VIPod sent you by using promo code VIPod5 for 5% off of your order, and order online for an additional 5% off for a grand total of 10% off of your order.
We would like to take a moment to say a great big thank you to our lead sponsor, SafetyNet Studio, for bringing us to all major platforms under their banner. SafetyNet Studio is a boutique audio company. They produce podcasts, offer voice work, and create content for radio stations across North America. You can head to safetynetstudio.com and check out music news you can use that's covering the chart toppers and floppers. It's a daily 6 to 7 minute pod that keep you up to date with all your active rock and top 40 favorites. You can also hear music news you can use on your local radio station.
Tell me about growing up in graffiti hip hop culture in BC in the 90s.
That's a good one.
We had a scene
because we lost in Manitoba a lot of good graffiti artists to BC.
Yeah, no, I know, and probably not to the island, but to the mainland.
No, but to the mainland, yeah.
Yeah, Snack and Capital Q and shit, all the SDK guys when they were first starting with that was the movement for that. But out on the island, we had some dudes that were dope with the graffiti hand, but even more the breakdancing scene, man. We were dancing out here.
The
that
trifecta, man. It was a trifecta.
And the 90s was huge for the,
you know what it is?
The breakdancers.
It's fucking Beat Street.
Yeah. Tommy used to be part of an actual professional breakdancing crew.
It's anything that happened in Beat Street. If you two, I know you've seen it. If you two haven't seen Beat Street, you better fucking watch it before I come back on this show.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Yeah, you know what, man? It was one of those things where we had our buddy's older brother, who is literally today still my DJ Stilo, and he was literally cutting records, not some CDJ bullshit. You know, he was actually cutting records, vinyls. And we were having breakdance battles with other high schools, like at lunchtime and shit, you know, we're taking it back to like 97, 98, 99 and watching different wild style videos of breakdancing and, you know, freestyling and doing that kind of
fucking
stuff.
Wild style videos.
Yeah, man. And, you know, the Lyricist Lounge videos and shit of all the guys freestyling, Mos Def and Talib and all of that generation of rapper. And, you know, we were a bunch of very mainly, I want to say, very, you know, white kids from a suburb in Nanaimo, BC, but we were plugged into something that felt so authentic that none of us were ever really outside the strike zone in terms of how we represented ourselves, because we were hip to the game. Like, we knew our music, we knew the culture. Being that we were Islanders, we could relate to the, you know, smogs of smoke everywhere, whether it was from New York or LA. To be honest, I mean, we outsmoked those motherfuckers left, right, and center. How many artists have come out either to Nanaimo or at least to Vancouver, Victoria, and you send them home too smoked out to even function? And it's like, come on, all this big smoker music. But so the culture was thick, man. But then when our generation hit like 25 and the social media generation started, a lot less cohesion in the physical form happened until just these past couple of years, where there's a young crew kind of skipped a generation. You know what I mean? So with the young crew now, 19 to 23-year-olds, there's a good circle of them. I work with a couple of them. They're renting halls on their own and doing shows and putting shit together and doing their kind of new school rap.
That's
right?
awesome.
Which it might not all be for me, but they're doing it well, and they ain't doing it for me anyway. So it doesn't matter if it's for me.
Yeah.
But the fact they're doing it is encouraging, because for a long time, there was not much of a culture here. You know what I mean? Guys like me had moved away, and guys like, you know, our DJ Steve got together, had a child with his you know, lady that he's with. And now we've all kind of reemerged from a bit of a hibernation, and there's this young, talented crowd. So we've bridged a gap. And I'd say, without any bullshit, it's probably as strong as it's been ever here right now. And the show coming up on March 12th, I know I've referenced it already once, but just the fact it's going to be a full house and that we have 11 different acts on there from all around the island and a couple from the mainland, it's going to be a real Kickstarter for the scene, I think. And I'm excited to see who and does what after I do that here. Let's just fucking keep it going for the culture. 1-1-1, right?
Well, and that's great. Anybody who can draw a crowd, like every scene is good for somebody out there, right? So if any scene is striving, it's good for somebody.
Well, and maybe it's because I grew up a bit
with Tech Nine back in the day as a tour manager for his opening group, and I would watch that guy fill a stadium, 400 or 5,000, and there would be 10 different styles of people there.
Yeah.
Dudes with big fucking mohawks. You'd have the gangsters in the corner. You'd have a dude there with his girlfriend. That guy is the epitome of crushing the whole fucking gamut of types of people that you can have at your show. And I would only yearn to get to a level where no matter what city I go, I know it's going to be packed with an eccentric bunch of people. So, you know,
and maybe it's because I'm old. Like, I'm the same age as you. I'm an 83. Yeah. I'm an 83 baby. And
that makes three.
Maybe it's because like I grew up and spent some time in that like original hip hop culture, which was
face.
like, well, not original. I'm not from the 70s, but like, you know, I grew up with like hip hop, graffiti, and breakdancing. Like that was the trifecta. That was like the three things that were a part of all of it.
And
like,
then you went emo.
And then I became an emo guy who sells weed. But like, everyone has their own path, you know?
Yeah.
But for me, like, I did graph for a bunch of years. I fucking ran around train yards painting trains and shit. And like, when I see hip hop artists and the hip hop community like still embracing those roots, like, it makes me excited. And maybe I think it's just because I'm fucking old, but like, there's something about that's exciting to me, and that's special.
What a lot of people don't think about is you're exactly right, and why that's important to me is these days our age group are the ones that have some fucking money in their pocket to support something that they want to watch. So I don't have a lot of interest, and I'm going to make somebody upset right now, but if they're listening and this makes them upset, then go take a look at me. But this generation, you know, the last maybe 15 years of people turning into adults have not been eager to work a lot and not eager to earn that money. They want to sit at home and take their chance, maybe doing something online, but they're not supplementing it with a guaranteed income. Yeah. Whereas if you're 35 plus, unless you're a total fucking nobody, no offense, you've got to have a couple bucks in your pocket to live your life day to day, because you either have a kid, you have a mortgage, you have a relationship, you have a dog, you have a car, you have a house, you have something that is taking your responsibility to the next level. And therefore, you're more likely to reward yourself with a $30 t-shirt, a $50 concert ticket, a $10 CD, whatever the case is. So if I'm appealing to people that are in my age group, awesome.
Well, and
because that means more than likely their call to action when I ask them to is going to be more responsive than that 17 to 25 age group.
They're more engaged for a longer period of time, and they get the grind.
Well,
because like it's all a grind, like owning restaurants, owning a weed business, being a hip hop artist, running a promotion company, like it's all a fucking grind.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you decide what that grind is. Like you can make it great, or you can make it you can allow it to destroy you. But that's your choice.
And growing up in the 90s, there was it was hustle culture, right? Like people took pride in, I'm working this damn fucking hard, and I'm making a goddamn name for myself, and I'm making my money. Nowadays, the culture is like, you're stupid if you're working hard. Look how little I'm working and making money.
Well, it's like my daughter. Like my daughter, I love my daughter. She's the best person in the world. But like the reality is she talks about like, oh, we should do an Instagram for this and we could get a shitload of followers or this and that. And it's like, sweetie, that's not how fucking life works.
That's not reality.
That's not what reality's like. Like you need to learn how to like, whether it's changing or not, and maybe I'm out of touch, But like, and I'm always willing to examine whether I'm out of touch or not when I say something like that. But the reality is that like, if you can grind and you can push through all the hurdles, you will win.
Yeah.
And if you can't,
you know what?
if you don't have the tools to do
I got
that,
all my
you're
likes
fucked.
from Instagram printed off last year, and I tried to go fucking pay some bills with it, and no motherfuckers accept Instagram likes to pay bills anywhere
Exactly,
on
dude.
the planet.
Exactly.
So, you know, to have tangible, real shit going on, there's still value to it, and for there to be no kind of focus on that, you know, it's a bit frustrating, truthfully, because there's a little bit less get up and go, and I feel like the old man yelling at the cloud meme from The Simpsons.
But there's some truth to that. There is some like
I don't let it upset me when someone goes, "Hey, Grandpa, why you rapping still?" Hey, bro, why don't you ask your dad why he just bought a T-shirt and an album? Fucking
exactly. Your dad just came to my show, paid $50 to be here, and bought a T-shirt and an album. Like, so
exactly.
Just remember,
and you just bought a T-shirt from a Facebook bot.
Yeah.
But
it's a weird time.
That put a logo on a shirt that looked like fucking Christopher Walken's wearing or something.
It's a weird time though, because I think we're in transition, and I think that
Absolutely.
like some of the things that we all believe contribute to like work ethic and all those things, I think those things are changing. I don't think they're dying. I think they're changing. And I think like there's a new version of what grinding means, and I think that over the next 20 years we'll see that. But like right now,
there's an efficiency.
I'm still 30. I'm still 38 years old, and like if I grind, I will win.
Absolutely, and it's just so like I've been trying to dabble into the social media, TikTok, like Instagram, TikTok, and it's like it literally takes all the energy out of me just to learn how it works and how to be somewhat successful. Right?
Tommy's learning how I got my social media PTSD right now.
Yeah, but no, it's just like one of those things that like you watch the stupidest fucking video and it gets like million plus views and likes, and then they get paid then from the actual platform.
And you want to just throw your phone across the
thing is
room when
the
you
thing
see
is that
shit.
most people don't realize is like,
well,
you can get 1 million views on something, but if you're not smart, that doesn't do shit for you.
well, exactly, yeah. So there's all these ways that you can use it to your advantage, but at the end of the day, it's still a grind, and like the grind that we know is still needed for the young kids to understand, like, because a lot of the young kids will think, well, I'll just post this video and I'll be rich. No, that doesn't work like that, you know. and that's the mentality. They don't understand the true grind of having a job, whatever industry you're in. Right?
It's ridiculous right now when you ask elementary kids what they want to be when they grow up. How many of them will say YouTubers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And don't get me wrong.
I got one.
If YouTube was around when I was that age, I would have given you the same goddamn answer. Because I probably would have made my millions.
The thing is, you wouldn't have. But they're kids.
Yeah, not you.
No,
Shut up.
You're a fucking asshole. Eat your wings and shut your mouth.
I'm funny.
No, but the thing is, like, that's what kids' expectation is, and that's who they look up to now. So, like, who did we look up to? We got to look back at ourselves and go, like, who did we look up to? Who gave us the tools and the
PJ Fresh Phil,
the drive to do that? And so, like, maybe it was fucking for Tommy, probably Rick Campanelli. Like, who knows? But like,
I don't know who that is.
He would. Rick the Temp on Much Music.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you didn't live here.
I said PJ Fresh
for
Phil.
you.
PJ Fresh Phil was pre-Rick Campanelli.
His story checks out. He's definitely 38 fucking years old.
Exactly.
I know who Rick Kemp is.
Yeah. So, like, details. You have a child?
Stepdaughter. She's 5. Yeah.
Cool. I got a stepdaughter. She's 10, and she's like my whole life. Like, she's everything to me. How do you like? And I'm gonna ask you like a bit of a personal question.
Do you guys
because
want to get a room?
I'm going through it. Yeah,
I already ordered it earlier. I knew this was going to happen.
We're gonna do like dirty zooms later, but like how do you feel about like parenting in this culture and in this like time?
It's a very interesting road. I'll put it this way, man. Like when I was 16, I lost my father. I've had a stepdad since that time, living with my, married to my mom and all that. We didn't see eye to eye for quite a while. And that's, one thing that always was a little bit tough for me with how that situation had happened. But when I stepped into her life at 5, her father's very much alive and is in her life, right? He sees her fairly regularly. And I'm watching like literally a week to week leveling up of this little computer system is getting more and more into the hard drive of it. But I'm watching where it comes from, you know, and she'll go on YouTube, and we've really had to be more conscious of what's going on online, because not only just for super negative stuff, but she'll go online and listen to my music. And you know what? Some of my music has curse words in it. As you can imagine, her dad isn't super impressed to have his daughter there playing my music at full blast on her iPad. So we've had to take things into our hands where we control what she's seeing. But she also, you know, I'm never going to discourage a child from learning what's current. And I think that there's going to be an advantage to her being very tech savvy. And as a female, I don't want to hold her back on any type of ability, because we already have seen, I mean, the Canucks hire a female assistant general manager, and Toronto's Sportsnet headline is Austin Matthews trimmed his mustache.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Like,
there's
give me a break.
Huge discrepancy, right? So with her, we're trying to raise her in a way where she can be self-defensive. I'm a big MMA guy. There's not going to be any dude putting his hands on her, or even a girl putting her hands on her. Teach her that what's in the screen isn't real. What's real is in front of your eyes. And that's a big one, right? She'll tell us about stories of stuff she saw. It's just, man, I've never been so plugged into something that I didn't create. I don't mean create like by default. I mean like a business or like a venture or something. And I wasn't part of starting it, but I'm so heavily invested and involved in it. And I don't say worry, it's the wrong word. I don't really worry about anything, but I have cognitive concern about what everything that is happening in our world with progressions of technology and stuff, what that effect will have on her at 15 and 25. Which is why I try to have a little bit of foresight. So parenting maybe isn't what I thought we'd talk about, but you're right on the money for saying that it's something that has changed drastically week to week, let alone over the last few years.
Remember encyclopedias?
That old shit.
Like before internet.
Well, and we're responsible to understand that enough to manage it for the intake that they get. And so, like,
absolutely,
if I can, like, this is one thing I told my daughter, and I told her a couple of years ago. I said, my job is to teach you to make good decisions, and also to help you understand that some things you can't unsee. And so, like, you can be on the internet, you can be doing whatever you do, but, like, just know that there's some things you could see that you can't unsee, and they will change you forever.
Do you know the shit you've done?
Yeah, that's why I know that.
No, but that's the thing.
Like,
is like when we were kids,
I can't unsee. Like,
faces of death.
I was 15 going to rotten.com looking at, like, shotgun wounds. And, like, I don't, my job is to, like, make sure my daughter doesn't look at those things. Because you'll never forget seeing that.
No,
and like,
I'm not gonna lie. Being 15 and someone being like, literally, like, want to see a dead body?
Yeah,
and you're just like, okay. And they're like, yeah, I got the internet. Come to my basement. I'll show you.
Yeah, totally. I got a little one who wants to be a rock star here, so she's lucky she's in good hands.
Nice,
there.
that's
she
good.
Wants to
yeah,
sing
that's
and dance,
good.
Jump around and
good
do a
for
bunch
her.
of performance shit. We can definitely make that happen.
That's awesome.
Fortunate there, but yeah, man, it's definitely it's a slippery slope out there, dude. I know we had Napster downloading illegal movies, and we had, you know, still shots of naked girls on our dial-up internet. But the fucking
baby,
but that was a gamble when your parents were all like, "Is it gonna load fast enough?"
Yeah, it was loading. I see the thighs. Ooh, there's the.
And then you heard a footstep coming from upstairs.
One second.
And there was no like private browsing mode back then, right? Like it was like, how do I delete the history? I forgot.
or even before that, when there was just the like hoping for a scrambled boob to show up on the.
Those were like that was
actually
you'd literally stay up for like 4 hours, like from like midnight to 4 a.m. with your buddy, just like sitting there watching the scrambled channel, hoping like that you got like 3 seconds of boob.
When Red Shoe Diaries came out, that was a game changer.
They
even aired that in Europe too.
Yeah.
That was a fucking game changer for me.
Yeah,
like,
on Showcase.
Wait, boobs? Like,
or
just
even
not blurry boobs?
Latino.
Oh, man. Oh, Latin Lover was something else.
Latin Lover was
That
great.
was crazy. Loads, buddy.
I didn't know. Well, here, hang on.
What we used to do in Europe, I don't know if it was popular here, but as a kid, I remember going.
This is the last cube.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you want to share it?
Nah,
just use a chicken wing next time.
I went from car to car because they would have the air fresheners with naked ladies. And
Just beating your meat
yeah,
in other people's cars or
me and the
what?
kids like,
I thought you were going to say door to door checking door handles.
He'd break into the car, leave the wallet, leave everything, but take the naked lady air freshener.
oh, we would go like to the window, like our faces and palms were like just on the. Ooh, look at those boobs. Look at that bush.
Or did you,
yeah.
you ever get the pen? Remember the pen where when you turned it upside down,
exactly.
the bikini
We had
came
the cup.
to it?
We had the big cup. Oh my God, that was awesome.
That was big screen.
Holy shit, that was good times.
What we're trying to say is we all remember shopping in San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco and the It store.
So funny quick story. I took my kids to Amsterdam, and my daughter was 10 at the time. My son was 5, and so my daughter's very smart, actually. I don't know. That's gotta be genes
Compared
from
to
mom.
Tommy, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we're just kind of talk to her about it, how Amsterdam is, and prostitution and all that. We explain it. We're like, okay, there's the red light district, so we're gonna take it to the red light district during the day, and there were still girls, but they weren't.
No, it's weird.
No.
The whole thing's weird.
Well, no, we honestly, it was just.
Watch some 55-year-old man get blown in a window.
Well, no, and that's the thing. Like
The worst
during
is
the
watching
day-
them come
I'm just
out
gonna
of
take
the
you.
room.
I'm just gonna take you to the porno district.
No, but during the day, the girls were covered up. They were just sitting in their underwear in the windows, and there was not much action, and only like every second or third window was.
Tommy was
occupied.
really disappointed.
Yeah, fair. But actually, my daughter called me out when I was staring at one of the girls.
Vacation is bullshit.
But no, she said like, "Dad, let's go," and then a bunch of guys just started laughing. But it was just so funny because like my son literally, like, we walked into a souvenir shop, and then my son's just like, "Hey, look at these boobs! Look at that penis!" And that was these statues of the giant dick and like giant tits, and just like, oh yeah, like parents of the year. But fuck it, whatever. It was fun. Why don't we listen to one of your songs right now? Well, let's plug it in. And
let's do it.
which song would you want us to play right now?
How about you go back to you could go to the Laundry album and play Home. Play the last song on
I
the
like
album.
that one.
Okay.
That was one of the ones I picked out today when I
The
was
song's
listening.
from Details, and you have a guest on there, Mr. ESQ.
Mr. ESQ, that's one of my main men there from Victoria. Yeah, one of the main guys I work with out here on the roster.
Okay, so this song is called Home.
I'm too old for this. Been around this, broken down for way too long. Left my home for this. Starry-eyed, it's no surprise. Things went wrong.
Shift over, hitch over, and it's fly day. Long weekend, today is my Friday. Hit the highway, time to catch my flight. Yeah, that's right, I'm in Nanaimo the same night. I put up a status, please. Somebody come and scoop me up in Cassidy. Now I know the rules, ass cash or trees. I pull life back to half the speed. It's my island, a masterpiece. I puff past the weed, I need a mid-fool. Cause I got pit bulls and family I have to see. I need about 10 cactus seeds, then after leave to pipers and catch the breeze. I might give that ass a squeeze, hitting an ammo ball. End up in a food coma, that's what I go for. See some cats we know, kicking nasty, flowing taxi home to Maxi Road, and I'm gone.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Sticking back today, the way to release me. 10 years in the cage couldn't defeat me. Had me craving that fresh air and fettuccine girls in bikinis, poolside sipping martinis. I wanna walk through my city and just look at the graffiti. Look into my past if you thinking life easy. Spent a lot of time thinking I would walk freely. Think I need a miracle, think I need a genie. I touch road in my hometown, smile on my mama's face cause I'm home now. Ain't no need for me gripping up on the chrome now. I'm grown now, see the finish line, I ain't slowing down. So I just wanna thank everyone for sending me those letters, writing out the details on how it's gonna be better. So open up the gates, now I'm coming home. I knew things would be different and I wasn't wrong.
I'm coming home.
Yeah, coming home. Yo. It's a different living, take it a day at a time. We work away, stay on our grind. There ain't a day to my mind, don't miss it, but I always come visit. Stay in touch with homies, even though we lose digits. I might burn one, but keep one more. Bathtubs and sandcastles, the weekend's over. It's a low speed, hell, I keep one slower and still know about 3-4 growers. I'm talking real West Coast, keep the rod tips high. Tip my cap to the Orcas when the gods dip by. Prefer cast iron on the beach, but non-stick's fine. We gon' eat and sip some awesome wine. Have an awesome time in other places, pretending it's home. Back and forth like a pendulum goes. Hey, yo, this is 250, we just send it and go. Yeah, my culture is the end of the road, and now I'm home like...
You guys heard the song Home from Details. All right. You had a question just before the song.
What was it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Fucking who cares?
All right. Fucking
Probably wasn't important.
Know how many shots we've had since then? Come on.
So Details, I'm sorry, but we can't really send you wings. But
Yeah, I saw that bullshit a little earlier.
we were just munching on wings here.
For solidarity, I didn't eat any yet. I'm gonna wait till we're done.
Yeah, no, but you know what? Like, if you're really interested in it, if you like hot sauces, these guys are from Winnipeg. It's Intergalactic Sauces, and it's called Cosmic Coyote. Very good hot sauce. All their peppers are smoked, and then they made the hot sauce. Super good. So
I eat so many hot sauces, and these guys, their entire line, best hot sauces.
Yeah, we had them on the show about a month ago or so, roughly.
Yeah,
and they're super funny. They make really good hot sauces. And actually, you are supposed to get back to me to see if we can help them out with a kitchen.
Oh yeah,
but you totally forgot. I know.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
and they're supposed to get back to us about doing a VIPod hot sauce.
Yeah, we're trying to get our
I
own
got
hot
other
sauce.
shit going on. I don't know.
Working on it.
I don't know if you
and
caught
what?
on to this, but like Details and I got some shit to work on.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I know. You guys are. See, I knew you had a reason why you wanted to skip the fucking show that you were supposed to be
I
on.
sell weed. He smokes weed.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I've noticed on your social media Details that you have lots of really wicked pictures. A lot of them you have a big blunt in your hand.
Yes, sir.
And is that just a statement, or you just love weed that much?
It's my lifestyle. At the end of the day, it's not something that I either glamorize or hide away from. It just gives me so many benefits in my life. Like I said, like as an full-blown opiate addict, I had all physical, literal pain that I was masking along with a bunch of other pain. So using different CBDs, THCs, I have a pair of sponsors. Well, I won't say sponsors, advertising partners, because I help them advertise what they're doing, and they in turn support what I'm doing, in different financial capacities. So I do product reviews for them for CBD and THC topicals. I got some actual THC sriracha hot sauce for my wings. I was going to make.
Oh, that's awesome.
Damn. Send us a link to that, because I'd love to try that out.
Yeah, I will. I have it all. We did a video for it the other day, but the idea of, just being able to partner up with some like-minded people in the community and also have an outlet for my marijuana love. And for me, like I say, topicals, got hit by a car back in the day. So I'm a big component of using rubs. I eat some edibles. I try to stay on a decent diet. So I eat those as candies. I don't think you're supposed to eat them like that, but
it doesn't matter. Whatever it is for you.
Depends on your tolerance, man. It depends on your tolerance.
Yeah, like
different strokes for different folks.
I've used CBD pills for my back pain, and fuck, do they work like a charm.
the anti-inflammatory properties, and I don't have to tell the Sad Jag this is beautiful. If you pair turmeric and celery and a good clean CBD tincture, it can do wonders if you have lower back inflammation.
See, and I'm lucky enough that I've never needed to use CBD for those reasons, but I've known plenty of people who have, and it's really...
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. It really is a miracle drug, and it's
I personally don't like smoking weed. Like it really like. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I don't mind taking a hoot, but when I start coughing, that's what ruins it for me.
Like that usually makes it better.
No, and I mean I do get higher. But
that's the point.
No, but less enjoyable.
Point, Tom.
That's the whole fucking point, buddy.
But no, I do get such a lung pain and throat pain that it like my high just gets ruined.
Well,
right?
that's like edible. Like there's so like what I love about. Oh man, I could go on this forever. But like what I love about the weed, like about weed, is like there's a million ways to get it into your body. And everyone's got their own way that it's medicine for them, whether that's like you just want to get fucking ripped and stoned, or it's like you got in a car crash and like there's medicinal properties to all that. And so like I accept that weed is medicine for everyone at some level, and sometimes that medicine is like, I just want to get fucking high.
Well,
that's great.
That's a mental health medicine.
I think that's a super good thing,
and that's like, exactly what it is for me. Like it helps me like take away that overall buzz of the entire world, right? Like it cuts out that excess.
You live in the middle of nowhere. What the fuck are you dealing with?
It's
no shit.
Mentally, though. It cuts out the extra feedback.
Watching a bison go by my house every 3 days really has me on edge. Just.
I think like I do really
flat. You can see the bison coming at you.
You can watch your dog run away for 2 days. No, I think the deal is that like weed is such good medicine, and that plant, like there is very few plants in this world that can do what it does on so many levels and like
versatile.
I don't give a shit what that level is. If you just want to get fucked up, it's great for that.
Yeah.
If you want to like deal with trauma, if you want to deal with like anxiety issues, if you want to just like you got a knee pain thing, like there's so many ways to get the benefits of those cannabinoids. I'm not going to nerd out on it, but like it's a phenomenal plant. Like,
well, and it's nice that with the legality
there's nothing bad about it. There is nothing bad about it.
It's nice that with the legality of it, it's becoming a lot more of an acceptable thing to even just talk about. Because before it used to just be like, oh, you're a pothead, fucking burnout.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like, no, seriously, like there's a lot of really good fucking benefits from this for a lot of people.
I'll sit there and roll joint at the table, and there isn't even a second thought. I go out, smoke it peacefully, just like a cigarette. But
nobody cares.
Back in the day, you'd be looking at like you were fucking shooting heroin in the club.
Yeah. Well, and so details like in Manitoba, we're like about 3 years away from that. So like you're a little bit ahead of that, and like I hate to give credit to BC for being ahead of anything because fuck them. But like,
tell us how you really feel about BC, Jags.
The reality is like that's a true thing, and like you guys have embraced that way earlier than we have. You talked about psilocybin at the beginning of this podcast, and like psilocybin, like BC and mushrooms, like everybody in Manitoba knows. If you did mushrooms 15 years ago, they all came from BC.
Yeah, damn right.
And like there's so much value in like psilocybin, and like you guys have mushroom stores that the government's like, we don't know what to do with this, so we're just gonna let them go ahead and do this. And like it's leaking its way into into like other parts of Western Canada. But like that's a super important thing. Like there is some really medicinal, valuable things in psilocybin.
Like, well, they're saying it resets depression. Even there's studies starting to show that.
It's like, crazy.
I'm not really into tripping anymore. Like once in a while, maybe if I'm out in Tofino on the West Coast, I got my shoes off and it's sunny and I don't have a fucking responsibility. I'll take too much. But typically, like I was at the Canucks Leafs game the other night. I ate probably 0.75 of a gram, 3 little micro doses, and just was going about my day. And I got in there, the fucking lights started up for the pregame show. I was like, oh, okay, like this looks a little extra.
You feel good.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, like you know, coming off of an opiate as a dope fix is really tough anxiety wise and depression wise too. You kind of got to find yourself, and I credit them very much with, I would make a new song, I would microdose maybe a half, 3/4 gram or a gram, and I'd go to the beach and I'd walk with my headphones on, listen to what I just created. Okay, cool. But as I was doing that, it was like walking me through almost a therapy session without having to pay the shrink, because I was writing it all out and adjusting my brain wavelength just enough to process it in a different way. And, you know, I don't think drugs are cool, and I don't advocate a drug-related lifestyle. But in my opinion, both those items are medicine if used.
But I don't. Yeah, I don't think that's drugs. That's not drugs. That's medicine. And like anyone who tells you different is wrong. Like they're just actually wrong.
Well, and you can look at it the same way with Tylenol. You know, like if you take it appropriately, it's not a drug. It's something that helps you. But like if you're sitting there popping 20 pills a day every time you feel like you might have a slight bit of a whatever bit of pain, then it's a problem. And I think the same goes. Like it goes with weed. It goes with mushrooms. It goes with anything. If you can control it properly.
There's not a lot of people that I typically, to be honest, like I don't drink coffee or smoke cigarettes, but there's not a lot of people that wake up and smoke their indica pen at 6 a.m. and then work till midnight and sleep 5.5 hours and do. I don't meet many people, but it works for me, right? If I don't smoke that, and if I drank a cup of coffee, I would feel like I'm high on cocaine, and then I would be all weirded out, and I would be jittery as fuck and acting fucking weird. So it's everything. It is. You know, it's in my opinion a tool, because, you know, people say caffeine's not a drug. If that's not a drug, marijuana isn't a drug. Okay, if
caffeine's not a drug.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? But either way, it is a mental stimulant or whatever. And for whatever reason, my chemical makeup goes at 6 a.m. If I have a smoke, it wakes me up. I have a shower, kind of rinse that initial high off me, and then operate my full day smoking intermittently. Yeah. Most fucking people don't operate like that. They smoke that in the morning, they are back to bed, right? So there's different strokes for different folks, as we said earlier, both with this too. The psilocybin, if done correctly, in my opinion, is a fantastic alternative to wondering why the fuck you can't sleep, or you're so wound up or depressed that you can't get an answer. So it's interesting to see medicine kind of come forward a bit to what we knew as kids as like something you had to be deceptive about and shit.
And that's the thing is now, like with weed being legalized, it's now no longer a scheduled drug. So they can start actually doing these studies on it and actually saying like, oh shit, we can actually say after doing a study that it is helping at this. And I feel like the same will eventually happen with psilocybin, and I don't know how much further it'll go from there.
Well, and the deal is that
intense,
someone's going to find a way to monetize it. And so like we all, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
But like, have you seen Requiem for a Dream?
Actually, that movie sucks shit. Anyone who says that movie's good is wrong. That movie's awful.
I don't know if I'd call that movie good, because it's not a movie that like it's like, ooh, I want to watch that again. But it drives its point home.
Yeah.
Sure.
It had an impact.
I agree.
I only ever saw it once or maybe twice, but I can still remember 3 specific scenes from the movie.
And I don't want to watch it again. Like I don't like, that's a movie that they should make you watch in high school. Like just like they used to make us watch those fucking, like, you know, the accident videos where a person fucking ate the steering wheel and split their fucking face in half.
The forklift through their body.
Yeah. Scared straight, man.
That's what I used to.
Don't poking weird shit in your arms. Watch this video.
That's what I used to masturbate to. Actually, it's weird.
It's hard to
different strokes for different folks. We just keep on coming back to it.
Parting thoughts.
Party thoughts?
No, parting thoughts.
Yeah, we're gonna get into.
I like the party thoughts are better.
You've owned restaurants. You have a family. You've had a hip hop career. You have a long history in all of those things.
What gets you hard?
No, don't. That's two separate questions.
Having 30 men interview me at once.
What is it that matters to you? What's important to you?
That's the same question I just asked.
No, it's not.
Peace and calm and tranquility. I'm 38 and I've lived 4 different lifetimes if you really went through each booklet. So peace and tranquility, which will allow me to be ultra successful because I won't have my fucking energy spread in 600 different directions and I'm missing what I'm trying to do. So, and right now I have that. As a dude who's don't let peace and tranquility get it twisted. I'm still the dude who works, 16 hours a day and I'm not upset to do it. And that's who I am. Yeah. But I don't do it. I work smarter than harder now, but I also do it in a way where I'm not in a fucking dude. I've been sitting on the album. It's framed and on the wall. It's been up there since October. I've had it since September. I've wanted to put it out since the day I got it, but it's just not the right time. So I've learned patience from that whole restaurant thing you asked earlier. Yeah. Can't do everything, and patience, it is a virtue, and it's something I used to hate hearing because I didn't have a lot of it. So peace and calm, and it's allowing me to be my best self.
I think that entrepreneurs get a rush out of seeing an end to their means. Mm-hmm. And I think that like sometimes, and I'm it's a weird thing. I don't know how to say this, but like I'm proud of you for holding on to that because it's super hard. It's a really hard thing to do because you need to let that chapter go and then move on to the next one. And dude, like you always want to like do the next thing.
9 years. Oh, sorry. I'll say it's really weird to put 9 years between writing a lyric of music, and in that 9 years, you're gonna own restaurants and go work in the oil field place, live in Tofino, do a bunch of absolutely non-music related shit, and then you find your way back to it. But it's easier and it's better than it's ever been before. It's weird, man.
Good for you, man. That's fucking awesome. I have had so much fun talking to you. These two are the worst, and so like I'm glad.
I don't even know why we have a show. Like from now on, we're just gonna get him to come on and interview all our guests, and we'll just sit here and drink and eat chicken wings while he talks to you.
I finally took a nap. It felt so good. Not that you were boring. It's just he did my job, and I just felt like I was resting the whole time. So
all joking aside, guys, this stuff you're doing, it needs to be done. It needs to be independent and having these voices and having this drive and desire. I miss massively hosting on-air platforms, and it's something I might get back to at some point. But this is stuff that it is really important. And people, before we leave, I'll touch quickly on it. The point about Rogan I made before we spoke is free platform media is one of the most important things we can have in the world right now, because there are so many things happening behind curtains as it relates to mainstream and big time media, that this kind of stuff is what keeps creativity alive on a platform where we're speaking openly, right? And I can be wrong. I'm wrong about lots of shit. I'm far from the smartest person in the world, but I like to think that I do enough research in the lanes that I'm in that I can speak credibly about that, and I can be willing to learn about those other lanes from guys like yourselves when I speak to them. And if everybody could just fucking realize that if you don't like something or if it doesn't work for you, just don't intake the media. Exactly. We would be all a lot better off, because I spent years avoiding certain mainstream media outlets because I didn't enjoy what they put out, but I never went to their fucking place with a flag out front and said, take them off the air. It's just not for me. So if we could all realize that there's enough out there for us and enough out there that ain't for us, let's just do what, in terms of taking in media, guys like what you guys are doing is so valuable to guys that want to sit and just hear some guys talking some shit, learn something about something of interest to them. This shit is invaluable. So I credit you guys. Thank you. And for having me on to talk about my shit. At HOODSTOCK ENT on Instagram, at Details250 on Instagram, and of course HOODSTOCKentertainment.ca has kind of everything.
We're definitely we'll throw all your tags in our pod script, and we'll share it on our social media as well. But yes, I agree with you. Like the reason we like this, because we have no one really telling us what to do. Like we can talk about whatever the fuck we want. We can have on a show whoever we want, and whether your view is left wing or right wing or right down the middle, we don't care. At the end of the day, we're here to just have a good chat, and there's no hard feelings about how people feel about anything, right?
And I think that's what's really important about it is nowadays people want to say, oh well, if you don't agree with somebody, just unfriend them, take that out of your life. That's not what I agree with. What I believe in is have that discussion, but be able to be mature with each other and have a discussion, and not the second that somebody says something that disagrees with you, now they're suddenly fucking stupid, uneducated piece of shit, fucking bullshit, goddamn liberal, libtard, sheeple, fucking like all those fucking like tag words need to fucking go the fuck away.
This telephone has allowed people to speak to other people in a way that they would never speak to them.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous the balls people have nowadays. It's like that episode of South Park when they're all just bouncing around on their ball sack. That's how big everybody's balls are on the internet.
Because of that happening, you can't take anybody's word credible in one direction or the next, right? And that's making it hard to find something. You know, I mean, I know enough guys with the graphic work we do in Photoshop, and I know enough about the media world that I could pretty much make a clip saying or a picture showing any fucking stat I ever want.
Well, and that's the thing. There's no journalistic standard anymore. So you don't know, like, there's no, okay, I have a certificate. And that's the problem too, is the second you say, okay, well, you need to have a certificate to post this, people are like, oh, well, you're just controlling what people say. And it's like,
my broadcast journalism diploma rolls in its frame every time some moron with a phone.
Exactly. Every fucking industry has standards.
And now if you have a phone and internet connection, you're a broadcast journalist. And my teacher in grade 11 in 2011 at broadcast journalism school in Van, he was like, congratulations, you've graduated, and all the best, as your job will be completely redundant and pointless in a matter of 3 to 5 years. Because
it's like how everyone who buys a Canon Rebel goes on Facebook and says they're a photographer. No, you just bought an expensive camera. That's all.
That's awesome.
All right, let's
trust me, guilty.
It was such a pleasure to chat with you. Like, I'm so happy I delayed my show. I think there was a reason.
We're not
for
done.
that.
We still have the confession booth.
Yeah, so
we can do more, but like he's got to go do dad stuff.
He does.
So
I'll be on TikTok with Surreal in about an hour from now in real time. I don't know when this will air, but yeah, you can catch me over there on Surreal Music Official, and from time to time doing that. But I got much love for you guys, man.
For sure,
Thank you for having me on.
So yeah, before you leave, I was just gonna say that. So yeah, like we do have the confession booth. And, feel free to call anytime. So what you need to do is you just go to our website, the VIPod.com. There's a little microphone on the bottom right-hand corner, and you can just leave us a message. So, if you want to tell us to eat shit, if you want to leave a message for this fucking guy, this guy here, right there, or whatever, and just, or like you're going to be on with Surreal, why don't you guys leave us a message? We'll listen to it next week,
I like it. I'll be on there.
But again, thanks a lot. We really appreciate you joining us, and it's been a pleasure.
A lot of fun speaking to you, man.
I'll see you around at Surreal's probably.
Okay, Tommy.
VIPod, it's your boy Details, HOODSTOCK Entertainment. Peace out, guys.
That's awesome. Thanks, dude.
Much love. Thanks for coming out.
I'm here for a confession.
Oh, Lord Jesus, what have you done?
Nothing. You just take it easy now.
I must confess.
Well, my dear, for your penance, 10 Bloody Marys and a good shag.
Leave a message. Beep.
All right, so let's get into the confession booth. And I have a feeling this will open up a can of worms. This one's
like earthworms, night crawlers, the glow in the dark guys, which kind of
dumb worms.
Oh, dumb worms.
Yeah,
my favorite.
This one's from Big Papa, and the email says,
"Who the fuck is Big Papa?"
Let them truckers roll at hotmail.com. I have a feeling, and I don't want to talk about this too much.
I don't want to talk about
but I have a feeling it's from Kyle.
It could be, or it could be from another.
Do you guys still let Kyle contribute to this?
If he calls it a confession booth, but that's about it.
Really? That's how I feel about Kyle on this show.
I mean, he did pull a Kyle.
He pulled a hard Kyle.
All right, so let's...
I'm super aggressive about things until I'm a giant pussy.
Okay, let's hear the message.
Okay, what I was actually trying to...
It was him. Okay, it was him.
Yeah, okay, so this is about the trucker convoy.
Oh,
Here we go.
God. Okay,
So just for your listeners...
Do I have to wait till the end of this message to comment?
Let's try.
I'm going to have a drink to this because I
Let's do our best to get through the call.
I'm getting fired up already.
For the listeners, so Kyle and Bretsky had a little war on Facebook.
We didn't have a war. I just asked him what's being protested
Well, anyway,
right
so
now.
you guys had a discussion over the truckers. So let's get into that.
He's a little butthurt.
Okay, what I was actually trying to say was, oh, by the way, this goes to Bretsky, Donovan, and Carly.
Oh, this is about the auger.
Oh, yeah.
Sound like when I dropped my blades off at Smoking Fish in Selkirk. That they
sell weed.
Yeah. Which
Also,
pause by the way.
I did.
Literally,
Smoking Fish sells weed.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. You can buy fish tackle and weed at this store in Selkirk.
That is the
probably one of the
sign
coolest stores I've ever been in.
Lovely culture.
Yeah.
Move on out to Selkirk.
Okay.
sharpened my blade backwards. So he was saying, well, why didn't Kyle just put the fucking auger in reverse? Well, my auger doesn't go in reverse.
When did I say that?
And even if it did go in reverse, it doesn't mean that my auger is going to cut through the ice. Blades are only meant to cut one way, just like a drill bit is only supposed to drill in one way.
Well, you got a shitty auger, Kyle. You should have fucking nutted up and bought a better auger. Fuck you.
Can go in reverse.
Cut them off.
But my auger does not go in reverse. So that's pretty cool. The ion does go in reverse, but that doesn't mean it's going to cut through the fucking ice in reverse.
My God, is
Think
this
about
what
it.
I'm sitting here for?
So this was
Hold on, I'm calling the ambulance.
So this was basically...
Was that his whole call?
This was a reply to Donovan, because Donovan called him out that actually augers do go in reverse.
Yeah, you just bought a shitty fucking auger.
I don't give a shit about either. That's ridiculous. What the fuck am I doing here?
Right?
Yeah, tell him what you think about ice fishing, too.
I love ice fishing.
Hey, you did buy
it's
gear. You
great.
bought gear.
No, I love ice fishing, but like, shut the fuck up.
Jag is one of those. I think he might be actually worse than you, Bretsky. He's one of those guys that he'll sit like a princess in the back of the truck. Is it set up yet?
No, fuck that. No.
No, the whole trick is show up once it's all set up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's Kyle whining about? Like, shut the fuck up.
That's a new thing every
That's
week.
worth a phone call? You're going to go on a website?
I think he has
click a
diaper
button?
rash is what the problem
You're
is.
going to click a button. You're going to make a point. Like, this is your, like, I got one thing to say, and this is what I'm going to say. Like,
Right.
That's what you're going to say?
It was very confusing because the email said let them truckers roll. I thought
it's
he's going to...
deceitful. It's
Yeah, he's just trying to get me all spicy.
No, it's
That's what he's
you
going
have to
for.
wait. That's all the spice you need,
Yeah,
right?
that's all the spice I need.
And
Loads.
he like put this great subject on this super boring message about fucking I don't give a shit.
So we can't even say
Holy
thank you
fuck.
for that call because that was
No
very
thank you for that call.
No thank you for that call, Kyle.
Why don't we
That's
call
a
him?
hard-
Let's call him live.
No, thank you.
Catch him off guard. He's probably pooping.
He's
He's
probably
always
taking
pooping.
a shit. Yeah.
He's always no. He literally lives. Like any
How
time.
many times does that guy poop
any
a
fucking
day?
time he's on a video call, like it's like a virtual background. It's his bathroom every fucking time you talk
I
to him.
don't want to talk to him. Don't message him. Don't.
Okay,
like,
I was gonna bring him
No.
on live.
No, why? Like it's.
I don't know.
what are
I
we
want you to
What,
just-
he's gonna talk about his auger again? Like
No, you are not even going to let him. We'll just all
million better
shit talk
things
him until
to
he
do.
hangs up.
What? 5 seconds?
Okay, so if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, please go to the VIPod.com website, and on the bottom right-hand corner, you can leave us. You can click on the little microphone and leave us a voicemail there, or you can send us an email at vipodmail@gmail.com. You can let us know if you have any questions for us, if you want us to test anything out, or if you have a crazy childhood snack that's weird to other people, let us know because we would love to try it like we tried the Cheese Whiz and jam last week. That was pretty fucking
That's
good, actually.
delicious.
It was
I've
fucking
done
good.
that.
I loved it. And you know what? It sounds weird to somebody that never tried it, but it was a really
But
good...
it's a sweet and tangy, right?
Absolutely.
Like
It was fantastic.
Can I
yeah.
make a suggestion?
Yep.
Peanut butter and cheese whiz.
I'm not a fan of peanut butter, but I'll try it.
Let's
Yeah,
do.
I think that's
We'll do that on the
crazy.
We'll
next
do that
show.
next week, yeah. You can also please go to our website and rate and review our show, and you can do that as well on Apple and Google Podcast, and you can subscribe to Spotify, and now you can listen to us on Amazon Music as well as on TuneIn.
Ultra HD.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Follow us on social media. I don't know.
We only record in like low def, but like
okay.
You can follow us on social media on Facebook, the VIPod, and on IG, the VI_VIPod. Thank you to our sponsors, Safety Net Studio. You can follow them on safetynetstudio.com, and the Pizza Oven, thepizzaoven.ca. Please
I
go.
like that place.
You go order online, and you can get the promo code. You can get 5% off if you use the promo code VIPod5, and if you do it online, you get extra 5% for a grand total of 10% off. Shoutouts.
Oh man.
Who did I shout out last week?
Who gives a shit?
I'm gonna
Who
go
you shout-
last.
Because I don't want to shout out the same.
Well, whatever you can.
Okay, I'll try, and then just tell me if I am, and I'll redo it.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, me first.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was gonna do Never Alone.
Okay.
Did I do that last week?
Oh, the suicide thing?
Nope.
No, Never Alone Cancer Foundation. They're a foundation that we have raised money for. They helped out Big Dave a lot over the years and helped him get a lot of the things that he needed.
You got
to
the scooter, some dental work.
Yeah,
and all
like
that.
basically
sweet.
what
That's
they
awesome.
do is when people have cancer, a lot of times these foundations are really bound as to what they can help you to, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
They can only do so much, and they can only like pay for certain treatments and stuff. And Never Alone, they come in and they say like, okay, like what's hard in your life right now? And like for example, Dave, he needed a scooter. They helped him find a scooter. They got it and got it basically through donations to
That's
get
awesome.
it to him and help him out and stuff like that. So
Nice.
a few weeks back, I was doing my thing on Facebook, basically being a troll. Somebody had made this post, and it was like looking out a hotel window, and there was a cop sitting in the front. And they're like, oh, guess who decided to park here instead of using one of the open guest parking spaces and this and that, and left the car running.
Was it Kyle?
And it wasn't Kyle, and I did my typical came in and was like, well, they're an emergency vehicle, they're not taking up the spaces that are there for guests, and if there's an emergency they need to respond to, they can get out there, whatever. I wasn't being a dick about it, but I was just giving my 2 cents on it. And like a day later, I saw him make another post, and he's like, look guys, like I've got cancer and it's fucking my life up real bad, and sometimes I make posts just to try to make light of the shit I see in the day.
Yeah.
And it really sucks that sometimes you're just trying to have that lighthearted attitude and people got to come in and shit on it. And he's like, I'm going through all of this shit, and if you want to know what it's like, you can come follow. I have a Facebook group where I basically diary what my life is like right now. So I went and joined this group, and it asks you like, why do you want to join the group and this and that, and I told him on there, I'm like, I saw your post and I feel bad for the shit I said, and my dad's a cancer survivor as well, so like I'm just interested in hearing your story. And so he allowed me to join the group, and I started like kind of following the story of what's been going on with him. And then he had a very similar problem to Big Dave, where he just ran into a bunch of issues all at once with like his car and his scooter and this and that. And so I told him I just sent a message out, and I said, hey, you should get a hold of Never Alone Foundation. This is basically exactly what they try to help out with. And they basically figured out what it was going to cost for all of this. They donated half of it, and then they found a garage that was willing to donate the other half of the work to get it all done for him and helped him right out. And Michael even reached out to us to offer us a connection to another potential guest down the road, who I'm pretty excited about if we can get a hold of, because it sounds like it would be a really cool discussion. But just again, want to shout out those guys and all the awesome work that they do. I'm just happy that we can have a place where we can direct people who are having these issues and just maybe give them a little bit of a break in their life with all the shit they're dealing with.
I'm gonna go off that shout out because a friend of mine actually made a post just couple days ago about a little girl that's going through some cancer. Angie and it's her niece. I believe her name is Victoria. They found a tumor. I'm not sure if it's on her brain or whatnot, but it was too big to get removed. So they had to put her through chemotherapy to get the tumor reduced so they can remove it. And she just went through the surgery, and they removed it successfully, and now she's home recovering, which
fantastic to hear.
Amazing. So
awesome.
I saw that story, and I asked more details about it because I wanted to know what the situation is. So I did tag Never Alone Cancer Foundation and Michael, and hopefully they can kind of connect, and I really hope they do connect. If no, then I'm going to work hard at it to make sure that they get the support that they need, because I don't know the family situation exactly, so I'm going to try to find out more information. But my shout out goes to, I believe her name is Victoria and her mom's is Danielle, and it's Vicky is the niece of Angie, who's a friend of mine. So shout out goes to them, and hopefully everything works out good.
I still wear my Never Alone Cancer Foundation bracelet that when Michael sent those to us.
Me too.
Last summer, I haven't taken it off. Like I shower with it, everything. It's we I think we do have 2 or 3 more though.
Do I not get a shout out?
If we have any fans that want one of the Never Alone bracelets, send us an email and we can get one out to you.
What's your shout out?
I want everyone to know. That's interesting. That's nice.
Loads.
Never Alone is great. Also, you're always alone, and you're always going to feel alone in that. And so I love that that's what's happening, and I love that people are supporting those people, and none of us in this room right now have a fucking hot clue what it feels like to be one of those people.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not even the slightest bit. And we need you to tell us what that feels like and what you really need. No, shut the fuck up.
I really wanted, because that guy that I started following literally posted this. He said he posted, "Have you ever thought about what it feels like to know that you're gonna die?" He says, "Yes, only once, but I haven't stopped thinking about it since." So that's something that you can kind of put in your mind with what it might be like to have that kind of news.
My shout out is not to anyone specific, but if you know someone, or you're doing something, or you're going through something with somebody you know who's struggling with anything, doesn't matter. It could be suicidal thoughts, it could be cancer, it could be Kyle, it could be anything. But know that none of us know what the fuck you're going through. We don't have a fucking hot clue.
Nope.
But if everyone can just try and be receptive to the information and do the best they can with what they can, we're all doing our best. And we know you're doing everything you can to fight for your life. And it's important that we understand what you're going through. And so my shout out is to all the people who are patient enough with all of us who don't struggle with shit and have this beautiful life, trying to help and trying to be a part of the solution and some fractional way of supporting people who are going through real struggles. That's my shout out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Please be patient.
Very deep.
Please be patient with us.
All right, guys. Well, Jax, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, I got a message.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the 23 minutes of audio we're going to be able to release from this episode.
Thanks for having me on. It was fun. Details is a solid dude.
He's awesome.
Plug the shit out of him. He seems awesome. That guy's got a level head. He's been through some shit.
He has, yeah.
I love everything he's doing.
Absolutely. Thanks to Details. Thank you, Jaguar. Please join our Discord chat. It's been fucking blowing up the last week. It's back to day one for
beat me to level 50.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so we have a little content. We have a bot on there, and basically as we chat, you get levels. And when you level up, like you said, first you start with like experience, like, I don't know, up to 100. And then as you message, you get experience. And then you get level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on. So
but it's messages per minute. It's not like you can't just be like, I want to level up you bitches.
Yeah,
like,
so
it
basically
won't count
we
that.
said that whoever reaches level 51st will get to co-host the show with us.
Oh,
shit. They'll get to come in here
with beer and pizza.
Yeah,
and
so
whatever.
please, if you'd like to join our Discord chat, subscribe on our website. Go to the VIPod.com, and there's on the front page there's a little subscribe button where you can enter your name and email and hit subscribe.
Just scroll down towards the bottom. It's down there somewhere.
I actually changed it around, so it should be now more to the top,
Okay.
more visible because people couldn't find it. But yeah, and then when you subscribe, you'll get an invite to our Discord chat, and as well, we're inviting every single guest to our Discord chat as well. So please do that. It's a shit show. It's fun. It's fun, and it's. It gets a little anxious as well. So at some point, we have some fun and heated discussions.
It's everything from memes to sports to just drinking and food and
shit talking. So
shit talking.
Whatever happens in the chat stays in the chat. It's like Vegas. So thank you guys for tuning in again. Tune in next week. We love you guys.
Fuck you. Love you.
Eat shit.
Bye.
Bye.
Suck your dick.